I'm Olivia Buzaglo. This is Early Sports Breakfast here on talkSPORT. We're building up to talkSPORT Breakfast this morning at 6 a.m. with Jeff Stelling and Gabby Agbonlahor. I will be getting an apology from Gabby Agbonlahor, and I will let you know later why that is. Hartlepool 1, Villa 1. They'll both be in a very good mood this morning. Nick's still with me in the studio. Nick, do you fancy, are you going to buy a Greg's Christmas card that comes with a sausage roll?
I do like a Greg's.
I love a Greg's, and I love a sausage roll.
I'm not sure I'd get the card and the roll combo. No.
Okay.
But big fan of the Greg's.
What's on the way over the next hour?
Well, we'll have all the fallout from Chelsea's 1-1 draw with Arsenal. Liverpool back to winning ways. Is this how Arne Slot's side's going to look going forward? And we're asking, is it ever right for a manager to criticise the fans? Here's looking at you, Thomas Frank. As always, get involved on the usual number. Call us on 03717 223344 or on the text 81089.
Much, Nick. Nick, you're back from holiday.
Yep.
It's your first day back at work. How are you feeling? Are you sad? Is
Rested.
the weather? Oh, but are you feeling good?
Yeah, I'm feeling very good. I've a week off the early mornings. Had a lovely time in Sharm el Sheikh. It was very, very sunny. I can recommend it as a holiday destination.
Yeah, I've been once before when I was, but maybe 10 years ago.
Yeah.
I'm looking for somewhere to go in March. And I want a bit of sunshine. So maybe Egypt is the place to go.
28 degrees every day. And
yeah, I need sun.
Unbroken sun. Loved it. Lounging by the pool, bit of snorkeling, bit of quad biking.
I found snorkeling really good in Egypt.
Yeah, it was amazing.
We had to get out of the sea for a shark.
Did you?
I don't know whether I don't know what shark, but they just said shark, and I've never swam so quickly back to a boat.
There was an attack a few weeks ago. I didn't tell my wife. She was slightly worried about it. One of my drivers during the week when I went quad biking, he said, yeah, one of the ladies, the guests of the hotel lost her leg.
Wait, the hotel you were at?
No, I don't think so. But it doesn't happen. It's very rare. Like the Red Sea is very salty. It's a bit too salty for sharks, but there are quite a few. Yeah. There are quite a few around there. It does happen a bit. So yeah, but I can recommend it as a destination. It's good, Sharm el Sheikh. What about the weekend? Who do you think you got a sort of figure of the weekend? Best person of the weekend winner?
Everyone's going to hate this because everyone's always like, oh, you just go on talkSPORT and talk about Chelsea. Well, now is the right time to do it because what a performance yesterday against Arsenal. And what a performance. He's not even a midfielder. And he ran the midfield against two of the, he had Moises Caicedo on his team for half an hour, came up against Declan Rice, who's one of the best midfielders in the world. And Zubamendi, who's also brilliant.
Taken off, didn't he?
Yeah, I think it's the yellow card as well. Reece James, I have got no words left for that guy to come into midfield and put in a performance like that from a right back. There is levels to his game. So Reece James, and we will get onto this. Don't you worry, we'll be talking about Reece James a little bit later on. But Reece James is my winner.
Very promising for England in a World Cup year.
Right back or centre mid? Where are you playing Reece James now?
Right back.
Right back. Who's yours?
Another wing-back, former Chelsea wing-back, who could win this week everything with Flamengo. Felipe Luis, former left-back. He's now in charge of Flamengo in Brazil, the club where he's a fan of the club. He played there, and he's about to win, I think, the Brazilian league. He's only one win away. Flamengo won the Libertadores this weekend, beating Palmeiras in Lima. And so if Flamengo do it, and I think they will, basically Felipe Luis, in a season and a half with Flamengo, has won everything there is to win with that team. Very promising young manager.
Yes.
They talk very highly of him in Brazil.
Do they?
So that's my suggestion.
It's all Chelsea today, isn't it? Not me. Nick decided to put in an ex-Chelsea player in there as well. Thank you very much, Nick.
Yes.
Nick will be back to look at the front and back pages a little bit later on. But first of all, it was another brilliant weekend of Premier League football, and here's how it all sounded on talkSPORT.
What a wonderful goal! Tyler Adams, who scored from 40 yards out. It's Sunderland 0, Bournemouth 2.
And it's all over now. Brentford 3, Burnley 1, Dongo Watara.
The turnaround is complete. Sunderland 3, Bournemouth 2, and it's Brian Robin.
Phil Foden, Manchester City legend. Mickey Gray.
Well, are you watching Thomas Tuchel? Manchester City 3, Leeds United 2. Leeds players are heartbroken.
It's Everton 1, Newcastle 4. Newcastle picking up their first away win of the season.
And they bent it in with Wilson!
Vicario with an absolute howler. And them lose again. They fail to win at home again.
And it's teed up for Mason Mount, who picks up the bottom corner brilliantly. Manchester United have turned this game around.
Aston Villa 1, Wolves 0. It's another goal from the edge of the penalty area. Forest 0, Brighton 2.
West Ham United 0, Liverpool 1, and a first Premier League goal for Alexander Isak.
10-man Chelsea 1, Arsenal 1. Looks like the Premier League leaders are going to drop points here at Stamford Bridge.
We're of course start at Stamford Bridge. Arsenal dropped points against 10-man Chelsea. Moises Caicedo sent off before half-time for a studs-up challenge on Mikel Merino. I thought Chelsea were brilliant, to be honest. 11v11, 11v10. I thought they were brilliant. They nullified not just Arsenal's set-piece threat, just Arsenal in general, and then scored from a corner themselves. It was Trevor Chalobah who nodded Chelsea ahead before Mikel Merino, who has been absolutely brilliant for Arsenal, by the way, playing in that number 9. He headed home on 59 minutes from a Bukayo Saka cross to rescue a point. Mikel Arteta pointed to Arsenal's tricky run of games and was disappointed not to get the win.
I wanted the 3 points, and especially after with 45 minutes, you want to do that. But I have to recognize as well what happened the whole week, the amount of difficulties that we faced, the top opponents that we faced with no recovery. It's 2 days game, 2 days game. Today again we play with 1 less recovery day here, and the injuries that we had. And on top of that, I think the boys responded incredibly well, and I'm very proud of them.
Yeah, there was no Saliba and no Gabriel. That's the second time, since 2021. I did think you noticed that a little bit. Mosquera and Hincapié are brilliant when one of Saliba and Gabriel are there, but together you could tell they haven't played together. But we mentioned him already. Reece James says the hard-fought draw is a statement from this young Chelsea side.
Yeah, I think, the result, the performance, speaks for itself. We dominated the game in every area, throughout. 11 men, 10 men through the whole game, we dominated, every area. And I think that will, send a big statement on, where we are and what we're fighting for.
Meanwhile, Enzo Maresca reckons Chelsea were the better side, but Caicedo's red card changed the game. We'll get on to the Caicedo red card in just a second, but we have had a text in from Neil, who's a Wigan fan, saying Reece James played in midfield for us and he was unbelievable. I do remember that. Every Wigan fan has fond memories of Reece James playing in midfield. Get in touch, 81089 on the texts. This was a complete performance from Reece James. I think we need to stop having right-back debates. I think we need to start putting him in the best footballer debates. I don't think he has a weakness to his game. He's been fit for over a year now. He hasn't played in every game. I think Maresca's managed him so well. I was seeing combined 11s, Arsenal-Chelsea combined 11s with Reece James not in it. And that is why I'm getting an apology from Gabby Agbonlahor, because after the game yesterday, he messaged me on Instagram saying, I apologise for not putting Reece James in there. 1 assist, 6 out of 6 ground duels won, 5 out of 6 aerial duels won. His long balls, his ability to bring the ball out and then spray it 40, 50 yards and it lands on someone's foot, getting Chelsea out of trouble. And it was just out of this world. He was fouled 4 times. 2 of those led to yellow cards. No fouls committed. He was dribbled past 0 times. It was the perfect midfield performance. And it wasn't just when Chelsea had 11 men. It was when Chelsea had 10 men as well. Leadership at its finest. He has grown so much, not just as a player, but as a captain as well. And he is just unbelievable. There's not many players that you can say can be that good at right back. There's a reason why left wingers always say Reece James is the toughest player they've ever come up against. And now he's doing that. I don't think Declan Rice had a bad game, to be honest. I just thought Reece James was out of this world. And fair play to Enzo Maresca, because when I do think Caicedo's challenge was probably a red card now that I've looked at it again. My only frustration, which I think a lot of Chelsea fans can agree with, is that the Bentancur one on Reece James before the international break was exactly the same tackle and it wasn't a red card. It was looked at by VAR and it was given a yellow. So what is it? Are they both reds? Was the Bentancur one wrong? That was my only frustration. But what I would say about Enzo Maresca as well is tactically spot on once again. I think he learnt a lot from the United game when Robert Sanchez got sent off. Robert Sanchez, by the way, wow, unbelievable this season. And he made some decisions in the United game which I think just killed us. And he came out and admitted that. His decisions yesterday after the red card were unbelievable. And, Chelsea never really looked like they were down to 10 men against the team comfortably top of the league. So I've got to give it to Enzo Maresca. I thought Chelsea were brilliant, but I do think a point was probably a fair result in the end. So that's my Chelsea loving. But don't worry, I'll probably get in a little bit more later on if you're listening, because I know everyone listening loves me talking about Chelsea. We're going to get onto another bit of red card madness this morning as well, because Lucas Paqueta got sent off. He got sent off for dissent in the same sort of action, effectively. I'm not quite sure I agree that the first one was a yellow card. But the second one, he just kept going back to the referee, and also the referee was almost left with no choice. So Sky Sports Premier League put out a tweet saying his behaviour was ridiculous. So Lucas Paqueta posted on X saying, "It's ridiculous to have your life and career affected for 2 years without any psychological support from the federation. Perhaps this ridiculous behaviour is just a reflection of everything I've had to endure, and it seems have to continue enduring. I'm sorry if I'm not perfect." I'm not sure how I feel about that. I understand his frustrations because I don't think the first one was a yellow card, but I don't know why he didn't just walk away. Because now he's missing. And, West Ham have got a really big game against Man United this week, and Lucas Paqueta, who's arguably their second best player behind Jared Bowen, won't be there. And it's just felt really unnecessary. And after the defeat to Liverpool, Nuno Espirito Santo didn't want to comment.
Let me just, I understand the question, but I'd rather speak with Lucas first and privately try to understand. But it's hard to play against a team like Liverpool with one man less.
Yeah, that's always going to be difficult. There was no Mo Salah for Liverpool for the first time in over a year and a half. He started on the bench. Alexander Isak scored a brilliant goal, I thought. Just his second goal in a Liverpool shirt and his first in the Premier League. Florian Wirtz was brilliant, probably his best performance in a Liverpool shirt as well. Are Liverpool looking better without Mo Salah? We asked Arne Slot why the Egyptian was left out.
Every time when I don't play Florian, you ask me about that. If I don't play Alex, if I don't play Hugo, now I don't play Mo. And that's normal because these are quality players, and Mo have been so important for this club and will be important for this club in the future. But we are playing 4 games in 10 days with 14 or 15 outfield players available. And I have to make sure that we keep them available, because after those 10 days, the season doesn't stop. We just keep on playing. And maybe in a week, 2 weeks, maybe 1 or 2 will come back from injury. Decided today to pick these players. And they did well. We hardly conceded a chance, and we created enough to score.
Yeah, I think the key thing here will be if Mo Salah doesn't start against Sunderland at Anfield, which is their game coming up this week. When I look at the Liverpool side, he obviously went with Szoboszlai sort of in place of Salah, Gravenberch, Alexis in the 2 midfield roles, Florian Wirtz in the 10 and Cody Gakpo off the left. And, given the way that Salah has been playing this season, fair play for Arne Slot, because, that it does take a lot to bench someone like Mo Salah, given the effect he's had on Liverpool and his career as a whole. 419 games, 383 of those have been starts, 250 goals. It's always going to be tough leaving out a player like that, but he left him out. Liverpool won. It'll be interesting to see what Arne Slot does against Sunderland. So it was a win for Liverpool, a disappointing defeat again for Spurs. After Thomas Frank said Tottenham supporters who booed Vicario for gifting Fulham their winner on Saturday can't be true Spurs fans. We're asking you, is it ever right to criticise the fans? 81089 on the text. talkSPORT's Henry Winter reckons that was a bit of an unwise move from Frank.
It's risky, a bit naive. What you do in situations like that, you play the Alex Ferguson card. You come out and you defend your man, but you don't almost pick fights, if that's maybe too strong a word, with Tottenham fans who are, as you say, it's not necessarily, it's a great stadium to go to, but it's probably not the cheapest in terms of season tickets. And remember, those fans will be there after Thomas Frank has left, after Vicario has moved on to another club. They will be there. They are true fans. You can't throw that.
Yeah, you can't. I get the frustration from Thomas Frank, and calling them not true fans, I think probably wasn't the right way to go. But I do understand his frustration, because what good is booing Vicario when he touches the ball going to do for anyone here? He obviously understands that he's made a mistake. I think that whole goal could have been avoided. Just, it wasn't just him that day that led to Fulham's win, was it? Yeah, so I mean, fans have a right. I would never boo because I just think it's quite weird. But yeah, Postecoglou did it, didn't he, last year? He sort of cupped his ears to the Spurs fans because the equaliser then got ruled out. And then he sort of didn't say anything, he sort of backtracked on it. Obviously, Thomas Tuchel called out fans at Wembley, didn't he, for being quiet? But I think that's different. Like, I don't know. It was like a weekday. It was raining. It was, it's not an easy ground to get to if kids aren't on half term. I don't know. It's just like you're not going to be coming out and staying out late. So I think that's slightly different. But what do you think? Is it ever right to criticise the fans after Thomas Frank came out and said those fans that booed Vicario were not true Spurs fans? Give us a call 03717 223344, or you can text us 81089 on the text. You're listening to Early Sports Breakfast with me, Olivia Buzaglo. Next up, we'll take a look at the back pages and we'll hear why Oliver Glasner's sounding so angry.